Oh, hey guys. How y'all doing? This today, this year, this month, whenever the hell you're watching this video. Hope you're doing pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. So, I'm currently, heading towards Kingman, Arizona. It's a little windy out here right now. I have a heavy load. It's a good load, but the load that I'm carrying, I really have no interest in. I'm carrying a 43.9 of alcohol. Picked this load up out of Shiner, Texas. I think it's Spolzel Brewery. Neat little place. A lot of room. A shit ton of room. They're a little behind, but that's why they gave us a window, I guess. But I sat there for about 3 hours. But considering I got there, they told me that they had 5 to 7 trucks ahead of me. So they busted ass. And then I also had some 4 boxes of like little juice cups that you see school lunches and stuff to get rid of. So I ended up taking like 20 myself. I had each box is 75, so I had like 300 of them to get rid of, and my fridge isn't that big, and I can't drink 300 juices quickly. Like, man, I could. I would really hate juice for a while, and I would be pissing like no other for a bit. And I don't want to kill orange juice for me. I love orange juice. I do. I had some good apple juice, but it was like 3 boxes of orange juice. And it wasn't like they were bad or anything. The only reason why I had to get rid of them because they got rejected is because the boxes fell and the boxes got too damaged, so they want to take them. Whatever. So I'm still working on those. I still like 16 or so left in my fridge. But I really want to talk about in this video like don't mind the windshield either. But I really want to talk about what can the industry do better in? What can companies add, and put out more in the field to make retention better, make drivers happier, and same thing with shippers and receivers. Like, let's just talk about the overall industry. What changes can happen to make people want to stay? There's a lot of job hopping out here. It's very rare you'll see a driver who has been, with the same company for like 5, 10, or so, even more years. It's just rare. Mike Knight has a couple I talked to. I know this one guy. I think he retired from that. He was a driver for Knight for like 15 years or so. And then I met a 10-year guy who was working on his like 11-year. And he said, those guys also told me, I can go out somewhere else and get paid more, but I'm happy here. So that's always a good thing. But okay, so the trucking pay hasn't really gone up with inflation. Like it's kind of actually decreased if you account for inflation. Than where it was like 70s and 90s. Granted, you were allowed to run more back then, but not legally. And even then, even before the rules, but even when I started introducing the rules, the reason why I'm pretty much against paper. A lot of people that complain about the paper really just have issues that make they complain about issues that really don't really matter. They're very minuscule, and they just want to complain because they don't want to change. But okay. So what can companies what standards can companies start setting? Honestly, I think the starting pay should go up. I think a minimum should be like let's say 50 cents. Let's say 45 cents. That'd be a good one. Because that 45 cents, you'd be grossing, you're running, an average of $2,600 to $2,800 a week. You'd be taking home about $5,000 a month. So I mean that's a good place to start. That's $60,000 to start, not bad. Okay, now Walmart pays their drivers drop amount. It's like very tiny, but it adds up when you're doing multi-drops per day. And then they also, for every night they sleep in their truck, they make, I think it's like $45 a night. Might be 35. Anyway, let's just say $40 a night. That needs to become standard across the board, because that would help a lot of these drivers stay out here. Because I mean, honestly, a lot of these guys going local. What a good chunk of them stay out there, because most of the guys that go here about they go local, other than they want to sleep in their own bed, complain about the pay. They get paid more to go local. I have no interest in doing local because of all the bullshit that comes with it, and I'm not a fan of sleep sitting. Okay, but so now you all of a sudden, for just being out in your truck for a month, you're getting paid an extra, an extra like $1,000. Pretty much, let's just say $1,000 a month. Just sleep in your truck. All of a sudden, you're making an extra $12,000. So let's say you're coming into the industry as a brand new driver. All of a sudden, you're making $72,000 to start. If you're out every day, every day for a full year, you're making $72,000. Now you're starting to that's life changing. I mean, a lot of trucking is pretty easy to get into, and it is instant change for a lot of these people that come out here that are like broke. I know quite a few people that are broke came out here, and all of a sudden the things are looking up. So I mean, but all of a sudden you're making $72,000. That is game changing. That really is. And then okay, I'm not detention. Detention needs to be more. My company pays $20 an hour after the first 2 hours. So the first 2 hours are free. And honestly, the reason why I say detention should be more, and it should just it should be as painless as possible, to get it. I've had loads where I'm out within 40 minutes. Okay, if you go load me and unload me in 40 minutes, that should be the standard. Like an hour should be the standard. And I understand busy times of the year, whatever, but hour and a half at the most should be the standard. Okay, let's just say we're going to use the same time, so it takes at least 2 hours to get anything done. Okay, $20. Honestly, I mean, I understand that they're probably paying. Not all companies do 2 hours. I know another company, you don't get detention until after 4 hours. So I'm sitting there if I'm that guy, I'm sitting there for 4 hours not getting paid anything. You know how bullshit that is? I just flat out bullshit. Honestly, I think if you're a reefer guy, fuck detention. Take it out, throw it away. There needs to be a change to how that system works. For any live load or live unload, just tack on an extra $50 to $75, somewhere in that range, onto the driver's pay for that load. Bam. Then I don't care if I sit there, unless it's, if it's only for a day, if it's under 12 hours, or if it's 10 hours or less, $50 to $75, whatever. If it's more than 10 hours, then double it. Hell, actually, not double it. Let's say, it's 50, make it 120. Because the driver shouldn't be punished for these guys wanting to half-ass their job and, be really slow. If some places are really good. I mean, because how is it some places who use the same lumper can have me out 40 minutes, and then some places who, lumpers are also something that should go away, but lumpers are third parties that are, contracted in by the company to load and unload. It's cheap companies, pretty much. But why is it that, some lumpers from the same company, meaning like Americold, some Americold places have me out, 40 minutes to an hour, and some I'm sitting there for 5 hours going, what the fuck is going on? I have 4 pallets, unload me already. I'm here on my appointment time. I'm even early. I try to be at least a half hour to an hour early. So if I'm on time, don't fucking make me sit here and wait. Like, it's not right. It's really not. And it's because there's no real, like, no push on these receivers to get you in and out, that they just do it. It's because they're comfortable doing it. They're able to. Now I think if there's pressure starting to get put on these guys, then changes would happen. But yeah, because honestly, let's be honest, $20 an hour after 2 hours, after the free 2 hours, kind of laughable. It really is. Because I mean, that's even if they're paying out a $1,000 worth of trucks worth of attention every day, that's not really going to put a dent in their pocket hard enough to where they're like, okay, let's get this done, you know. And if you're that short staffed, hire more people. Like, especially these grocery warehouses, it's a 24-hour place. You got trucks coming in and out all the time. You should know better. Now I can understand if this is like a thing where it's like a 9 to 5 place and it takes them like a couple hours to really get their energy flowing and whatever. They're fine. And really, I'm going to be more patient depending on how they you know, when I go on there saying, hey, you know, how much longer or whatever, depending on how they treat me. It depends on how much bullshit I'll put up with. But alright, so like I was saying, we need sleeper pay, a better detention system. I think a flat pay on top of, you know, if it's a live load, a flat pay already. For the guys who are actually want to put up the bullshit that other drivers put them through. For example, with like having to get a tire replaced or something on the trailer, something that's not necessarily their fault. Because okay, the truck is your responsibility. But let's say you just go and pick up an empty and it needs a tire. Now, since this company on night before they replace a tire, wants pictures, they want documentation before they approve it, you know, to get it replaced. So going through the whole process, if I waste my valuable time in my day to get this replaced, especially like the last one, it took 8 hours. If I waste 8 hours to get this replaced, I should get rewarded for it, not punished for it, because I just lost 8 hours of a 14 that started rolling. So that 8 hours, I only have, you know, let's just say 5 hours to go. You know, you gotta find a place to sleep too, that takes time. So let's say I have 5 hours to drive, I'm only looking like 280 miles when I could have done 500. I just lost half a day. So, yeah, I mean, it's hard to ruin these drivers. Hell, let's just say give them $50. That will set a standard so other companies and drivers will start picking up on it. You want to keep your good drivers, you need to actually pay them, reward them, show them gratitude. Good drivers are rare because they won't stick around and deal with bullshit. They'll go where they're actually getting paid and getting the gratitude that they deserve. I mean, the pay is half of it, but you also gotta be able to treat your drivers well too. Communication is important. If you don't get, like, if you know I get up at, like, let's say anywhere from 5 to 9 a.m., depending on, you know, what's going to go on for a day, and I don't have a load yet, and send me a load, or send me a message saying, like, I don't know, let's say I got 5 a.m., I'm still sitting around waiting for a load, send me a message like 8 a.m., saying, hey, no load yet, still looking. Don't leave me just wondering, you know, sitting there wondering. Inform me. Because otherwise, what's going to happen is companies going to start realizing this. When you don't communicate with drivers, they start getting aggravated and frustrated because they have no idea what the hell's going on. Yeah, sure, I can call them, but I shouldn't have to call them if they're trying to find, you know, they're still looking for a load. It should be their responsibility to tell me that, hey, we haven't forgotten about you, we're still looking. Now, that doesn't happen a lot, but that's not the point, at least with my company. Smaller companies probably, I don't know. be late, or hey, there's this, this such and such going on. Well, it's a two-way street. You got to communicate too. Both DMs and drivers need each other. They may not always agree and get along, but you need each other. So two makes the dream work. In this case, well, I guess it would be three, but the third one's in the background that we pretty much very rarely ever get to talk to directly, and that's the planner. The planner is the one that gets the less with the drivers, and DM, gets the driver all situated. If I have an issue with the load, I go to the DM. I don't go to the planner. It's all about you just gotta reward your drivers. You gotta keep them happy. And don't give me this bullshit about slim profit margins. Like, that only applies to the very small companies. When you're a mega, especially with claims to have like no debt or very small debt, you're making profit. You're making huge profit. It may not be like, I don't understand how much fuel you can go through a week and all that, blah, 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 but it's not like we're asking you, if you're able to give us an extra 5 cents, potential per month, which is only $500, come on. Like, yeah, let's be real here. You have room to maneuver with your profits, so let's not act like you don't. Like, I understand capitalism, I like capitalism, but come on. Don't tell me I don't know about how profits work. If you're able to give out extra potential, of 5 cents a month, which based on current mileage, that's like I've been running a month. That's like $480 to about $430 to $500 a month. You hear a lot of jaking because I am descending down into Kingman, and this, I would not be good. It's a lot easier to do this in a truck trying to jake because it sees that. If I don't like it down there at the bumper. The truck does auto jake, but this at nighttime is a lot harder of a drive. At daytime, a lot easier. Bring this down a couple more. There we go. Now, there's a better speed of movement. I'll sit here and just let you guys listen to this engine real fast and the jig. Trying to keep momentum for this big hill coming up. I don't know if you guys see it yet. But I'm holding my speed, but I'm not slowing down too much. Like a 6%, it's gonna drop my speed hard. It already instantly started as soon as I turned up. Turn up for what? No, fuck that song. But no, I mean seriously, it's as simple as listen to your drivers, communicate. Fucking communicate. It's important in every relationship. Pay your drivers. I've heard stories of CR still paying their fucking drivers like it's the early 2000s, 19 cents or 25 cents a mile. No, fuck you. Fuck you, CR. Pay your drivers minimum of 45. So pretty much put that in perspective, for every 2 miles, it's 90 cents. That's nah, would you rather do around it a little bit for like 2 miles make $1 or around 4 miles make $1? They're starting to go after these CDL schools, which is good too, that just turn and burn drivers out. Trainer mill, school mill, whatever you want to call them, puppy mill, I don't know, I've heard a lot of odd things from them. But there's a misconception out there that the bad schools are the megas. No, the megas actually are pretty good. The megas, they are under the most scrutiny. They work with the cities and states more directly hand in hand. I know the Swift school in Salt Lake randomly had the state CDL tester randomly come over and will steal one student from them per month just to see if they're slacking. Because they're allowed to do their in-house, but they'll come over randomly across the whole month and grab one person. I mean, sometimes maybe more, but they do at least one, just to see if the school is actually doing their job or slacking. But like, you know how many times I've seen hell, just coming in the last hour, driving down these mountains and hills and stuff. How many drivers are riding their brakes, and you can tell who's doing it, who's not jaking, and who's just riding their brakes. And you kind of have an idea of where they came from, where they were taught. My brake is my last resort. And when I say that, I mean like jake. If I had to jake and brake, if I had to brake, and lose some speed quickly, it's jake and then brake immediately. But I'll start with the jake, because I mean that's how it should be done. I can't ever not write those things. It's funny as hell to write those. But hey, sorry about all the language in this video, guys. I'm a bit of a potty mouth, but I've been trying my hardest to not be my usual potty mouth in these videos, because I know like quite a few people may not like the language. Honestly, I don't see the big deal, because you can go to school, you can go to elementary school as a kid and hear things 20 times worse than I'll ever say. I mean, those who are worried about kids being exposed to things, like, if you're worried about what I say affecting your kid, you have no understanding of what goes on behind the schools. Considering nowadays the kids know what things look like at 8 years old, that's fucking insane. It wasn't even like 15 years ago I was like, oh, what's a boob? No, but I mean, sir, come on, companies, be better. And drivers out there, you want the change in this industry, you got to be the change. That also means you got to start representing the companies and yourself better. Stop throwing fucking garbage outside the window just when you park in the front of the night. And if you have to do that, at least back the fucking shit up. At least bag it up. Don't leave it, throwing out across like 100 feet. But seriously, represent yourself better. Bathe and shower. Represent the company better. Take care of the inside of your truck. I understand taking care of the outside can be hard at times. I mean, as far as keeping it clean, just be a decent person. I've noticed a lot of companies probably don't want to do anything for the drivers, because the drivers don't give a shit about them. It's a two-way street. So if you want the change, be the change. Start the change trend. And eventually things will start changing. But I wanted to make this video without making going through the usual problems that people like to pull up, like ELDs or micromanagement. Which, that's another thing going. The whole drivers, unless they're problematic, and if they're that problematic, they shouldn't be driving. But drivers do not need wake-up calls. Maybe at the start of the first 3 months, get them used to how things work, make sure they're up, make sure they're adjusting. But I don't need you to call me every 3 hours. I can understand if the broker's being an asshole, then okay, I'll put up with it. But if it's you personally, the company, just call me every 3 hours to see, am I going to be on time? Where am I going to stop? I'm going to flip out on you. I know how to fucking plan the trip. It doesn't take rocket science. And no, pre-planning does not happen at the start of the trip. It happens each day and periodically throughout the days on that trip. Okay, all I wanted to say about that, wasn't trying to make an angry rant. It might have came out that way. But hey, you guys, I appreciate you guys. All those who keep watching, supporting. I do got a Discord. That's discord.gg/handies. So, just put discord.gg/ my name. And then, hey, make sure to keep the rubber down, stay safe out there, and catch you guys next time. Bye!